Okay, today's class will start board plots or logarithmic plots. Board plots, board plots or logarithmic plots. Board plots or logarithmic plots. What do you mean by board plots? First I'll explain concept. Let g of s h of s be equal to k into 1 plus ta into s divided by s into 1 plus t1s into 1 plus t2s. Here ta is greater than 0, t1 comma t2 greater than 0. We have considered a transfer function g of s h of s is equal to k into 1 plus tas divided by s into 1 plus t1s into 1 plus t2s. Letting s is equal to j omega gives gh of j omega is equal to k into 1 plus j omega ta divided by j omega into 1 plus j omega t1 into 1 plus j omega t2. By putting s is equal to j omega, transfer function gets converted into frequency response. Mathematically, if you put s is equal to j omega, Laplace transform gets converted into Fourier transforms. Okay. Then what is m? M is equal to magnitude of gh of j omega is equal to k into square root of 1 plus omega into ta whole square divided by omega into square root of 1 plus omega t1 square into square root of 1 plus omega t2 square. This is the magnitude. Please note that magnitude of a plus jb is equal to root of a square plus b square. Phi is equal to angle of a plus jb. Angle of a plus jb is equal to tan inverse of imaginary part by real part. Any complex number will have magnitude and angle. What is the magnitude? Square root of real part square plus imaginary part square. So what is magnitude of j omega? Magnitude of j omega is omega. Please note that if you have m1 at an angle phi 1 divided by m2 at an angle phi 2, then it is m1 by m2 at an angle phi 1 minus phi 2. If you divide two complex numbers in polar form, magnitudes get divided, angles will be added with proper polarities. When phi 2 goes to numerator, it becomes minus phi 2, then add it to phi 1. If you have m1 at an angle phi 1 divided by m2 at an angle phi 2 into m2 at an angle phi 3, then it is multiply the magnitudes m1 into 1 by m2 into 1 by m3, add the angles phi 1 minus phi 2 minus phi 3. These are all the basics of mathematics. So what I will do is, I will still oversimplify this. This implies gh of j omega is equal to k. This complex number can be written as square root of real part square plus imaginary part square at an angle tan inverse of omega ta. Tan inverse of imaginary part by real part. If you have a complex number 1 plus j1, then what is its magnitude? Square root of 1 square plus 1 square. What is its angle? Tan inverse of imaginary part by real part. That means root 2 at an angle pi by 4. 1 plus j1 is in the rectangular form, root at an angle pi by 4 is in the polar form. Each complex number which is in the rectangular form will now be expressed in the polar form, divided by j omega means magnitude is omega, angle is 90 degrees, into square root of real part square plus imaginary part square. Angle is tan inverse of omega into T1 into square root of 1 plus omega into T2 whole square. Angle is tan inverse of omega T2. Each complex number in rectangular form is converted into polar form. We'll multiply the magnitudes, add the angles as per this rule. Multiply the magnitude. So what you get? K into square root of 1 plus omega Ta whole square divided by omega into square root of 1 plus omega into T1 square into square root of 1 plus omega into T2 square. Angle is minus 90 degrees. When an angle is transferred from denominator to numerator, it becomes a minus angle. Minus tan inverse of omega T1 minus tan inverse of omega T2 plus tan inverse of omega into Ta. This is like m at an angle. This is like m at an angle phi of omega. This is like m at an angle phi of omega. Where m equals k into square root of 1 plus omega into Ta whole square divided by omega into square root of 1 plus omega into T1 square into square root of 1 plus omega into T2 square. And what is phi of omega? Phi of omega is equal to minus 90 degrees minus tan inverse of omega T1 minus tan inverse of omega T2 plus tan inverse of omega into Ta. Omega into Ta. The plot of 20 log m to base 10 versus omega is called Bode's magnitude diagram. Is called Bode's magnitude diagram. Is called Bode's magnitude diagram. The plot of phi of omega versus omega is called Bode's phase diagram. Is called Bode's phase diagram. Bode's magnitude diagram and Bode's phase diagram put together is called Bode's diagram or Bode diagram. So the plot of 20 log of m to base 10 versus omega is called Bode's magnitude diagram. Bode's magnitude diagram. The plot of phi of omega versus omega is called Bode's phase diagram. Both Bode's magnitude diagram and Bode's phase diagram is called Bode diagram or Bode's diagram. Why we are taking 20 log? Because when you take 20 log on this, correct, all the product terms will become sum terms, and that will be having an advantage which will be exploited while doing problems. Next, I am going to consider Bode plots of some important functions. First one, Bode diagram of a pole R0 at the origin. Polar 0 at the origin is the first case. Let y of s be equal to 1 over s. So if you plot this on the s plane is a complex plane having real axis sigma, imaginary axis j omega. The pole is at the origin. Letting s is equal to j omega gives y of j omega is equal to 1 over j omega. This implies magnitude of y of j omega is equal to 1 by omega. Taking 20 log to base 10 on both sides. Taking 20 log to base 10 on both sides, we get 20 log to base 10 magnitude of y of j omega is equal to minus 20 log omega to base 10. Correct? Now I am going to plot this magnitude diagram. Say the above equation is of the form y is equal to mx, where y is equal to 20 log to base 10 magnitude of y of j omega. M is equal to slope is equal to minus 20 decibels per decade, and x is equal to log omega to base 10. What is a decade? See, what is a decade? Let us consider a frequency. Let us consider a frequency range starting at omega e, ending at omega b. Let us consider a frequency range that starts at omega a, ends at omega b. If omega b is equal to 10 times omega a, then this frequency range is called a decade. Let us consider a frequency range that starts at omega a, ends at omega b. If omega b is equal to 10 times omega a, then this frequency range is called a decade. So what the decade is explained over here. Now I am going to draw the magnitude diagram. X-axis is log omega to base 10 is x-axis, or log omega to base 10, or omega in log scale. Omega in log scale means it is log omega to base 10. So I said, what is y-axis here? Y-axis is 20 log to base 10 magnitude of y of j omega. So minus 20 decibels per decade is this straight line. The slope of the straight line is equal to minus 20 decibels per decade. This is 20, this is 1. And let us say this is 0.1. So this is a decade. Because 0.1, if you multiply by 10, you get 1. Define tan theta. If you take this angle as theta, slope is equal to what? Slope is equal to tan theta. What is y-axis? Y-axis represents 20 dB divided by 1 decade. Adjacent side is 1 decade. since the line is falling, slope is negative. Hence I put a minus sign here. So slope of this line is minus 20 decibels per decade. In other words, if you want a line of slope equal to minus 20, you will connect 20 dB with omega equal to 1 and draw a line. And that line will have a slope equal to minus 20 decibels per decade. This is the Bode's magnitude diagram. This is Bode's magnitude diagram. What is phase diagram? Phi of omega is equal to what? Phi of omega is nothing but angle of y of j omega. What is this angle? Minus tan inverse of imaginary part is omega, real part is 0. Tan inverse of infinity is minus 90 degrees. So if you take this as omega, and if this is phi of omega, correct, this is the plot. For all values of omega, the angle is minus 90 degrees. For all values of omega, the angle is minus 90 degrees. This is minus 90 degrees. This is for 1 by j omega. Or I will write this as j omega inverse. This is the phase diagram. This is the phase diagram for 1 by j omega to the power minus 1. This is Bode's phase diagram. Bode's phase diagram. Both Bode's magnitude diagram and phase diagram put together is called Bode's diagram or simply Bode diagram. If there are n poles at the origin, we have y of s is equal to 1 over s to the power n, which implies y of j omega is equal to j omega to the power n. This in turn implies magnitude of y of j omega is equal to 1 over omega to the power n, because modulus of j to the power n is equal to 1, which in turn implies 20 log to base 10 magnitude of y of j omega is equal to minus 20 into n multiplied by log omega to base 10. Minus 20 into n log omega to base 10. Therefore, this represents a straight line of slope is equal to minus 20 into n decibels per decade. The above equation represents a straight line of slope is equal to minus 20 into n decibels per decade. That means instead of minus 20, if it will be minus 20 into n. Also, what is phi of omega? Phi of omega is equal to minus n into tan inverse of omega. Sorry, tan inverse of minus n into 90 degrees. Minus n into 90 degrees. So what is going to happen is, x-axis is omega in log scale. Omega in log scale means it is log omega. Y-axis is 20 log to base 10 magnitude of y of j omega. This is the line. Slope is what? Slope is minus 20 into n. So on y-axis, for example, I will take n is equal to 2. N is equal to 2 means this is 40, and this is omega equal to 1. Slope of this line is minus 40 decibels per decade. This is drawn for n is equal to 2. Correct? This is drawn for n equal to 2. When n is 2, minus 20 into 2 is minus 40. If you take n is equal to minus 2, if you take n is equal to minus 2, this pole will become a 0. So this is the plot for your information. This is minus 40. The slope of this line is plus 40 decibels per decade. This is drawn for n is equal to minus 2. When n is minus 2, this becomes plus 40. When n is minus 2, this pole will become a 0. For positive values here, n is greater than 0. If n is less than 0, right, you will have y of s is equal to, for example, if you take n is equal to minus 2, y of s will be s square. That means 2 zeros at the origin. Next I'll write phi of omega. X axis is omega to log scale. Y axis is phi of omega. This is the plot. When n is 2, what is this angle? When n is 2, this angle is, when n is minus 2. When n is minus 2, the angle is when n is 2, this is actually 0 degrees. When n is minus 2, it is minus 180 degrees. When n is minus 1, it is minus 90 degrees. In the earlier case, when n is 1, see when n is 1, it is minus 90 degrees. This is when n is 1. When n is plus 1, this is plus 180, this is plus 90. When n is 1, it is minus 90 degrees. When n is plus 2, minus 180 degrees. When n is minus 1, plus 90. When n is minus 2, plus 180. Correct? This is for which one? This is for j omega square. This is for j omega to the power 1. This is for j omega to the power minus 1. This is for j omega to the power minus 2. Earlier, this is for j omega to the power 2. This is for j omega to the power minus 2. Earlier, I drawn the phase diagram like this. This was omega, phi of omega. I written here minus 90 degrees. In that case, please don't take this as 0 degrees. I want to clarify it. Earlier, I had written a figure for 1 by j omega, the phase diagram for 1 by j omega, and I had written this as minus 90 degrees. Therefore, this is not 0 degrees. 0 degrees is somewhere here. Okay? Don't go by the x-axis. X-axis we can draw anywhere. But in this figure, x-axis is drawn at omega is equal to 0 degrees. This was the earlier figure I had drawn before these two figures. So this minus 90 degrees means don't think this is 0 degrees. Okay, I want to clarify it. 0 degrees could be somewhere here. Okay. Next case. Second one, poles are zeros on real axis. on real axis. Let y of s be equal to 1 over 1 plus t1s. Letting s is equal to j omega gives y of j omega is equal to 1 over 1 plus j omega t1. This implies magnitude of y of j omega is equal to magnitude of 1 over 1 plus j omega t1. Taking 20 log to base 10, taking 20 log to base 10 on both sides, we get 20 log to base 10, 20 log to base 10, magnitude of y of j omega is equal to minus 20 log to base 10 modulus of 1 plus j omega t1. Log of 1 by a is minus log a. If omega t is very much less than 1, then 20 log to base 10 magnitude of y of j omega is equal to minus 20 log 1 to base 10 is equal to 0 dB. If omega t is very much greater than 1, then you can neglect 1. Then 20 log to base 10 magnitude of y of j omega is equal to minus 20 log of modulus of j omega t1. Modulus of j is 1 and log of ab is what? Log a plus log b. So this is nothing but minus 20 log omega t1 because magnitude of j is 1. Log a is log a plus log b. So this is minus 20 log t1 to base 10 minus 20 log omega to base 10. Correct? So I will plot using this equation. I will plot now. X-axis is omega in log scale. X-axis is omega in log scale. This is the line that represents omega is equal to 1 by t1. Y-axis is 20 log to base 10. 20 log to base 10 magnitude of y of j omega. For omega less than 1 by t1. If omega t1 is very much less than 1, then we have neglected omega t1, you get 20 log of 1 is equal to 0 dB. So that means for omega less than 1 by t1 means left of this dotted line, omega t1 is very much less than 1. When omega t1 is very much less than 1, you get a straight line of magnitude 0 dB. This is called asymptotic approximation. This is called low frequency asymptote. Asymptote is tangent to a curve at infinity. That is how it is defined. Actually, logarithmic function is a nonlinear function. That function will be approximated by a straight line. That straight line approximation is called an asymptote. This is a straight line. This is a straight line of magnitude equal to 0 dB. For omega t to the right of this, omega t1 is very much greater than 1. When omega t1 is very much greater than 1, you get a straight line of slope is equal to minus 20 decibels per decade. So I am going to write the comment. The low frequency asymptote is a straight line of magnitude is equal to 0 dB. Okay, and high frequency asymptote, this is low frequency asymptote. Low frequency asymptote is a straight line of magnitude equal to 0 dB for omega less than or equal to 1 by T1. And high frequency asymptote is a straight line of slope equal to minus 20 decibels per decade for omega greater or equal to 1 by T1. This frequency where the two asymptotes intersect is called corner frequency. The point of intersection of the two asymptotes is called corner frequency or break frequency. Okay, important points. A simple zero of the form 1 plus T1s to the power minus 1 plus T1s to the power minus 1 plus T1s will have a magnitude diagram as shown below. See, instead of slope being minus 20, place here, instead of slope being minus 20, it will be plus 20. Y-axis is 20 log to base 10 magnitude of y of j omega. This is again omega is equal to 1 by T1. This is a straight line of magnitude equal to 0 dB. This will be plus 20 decibels per decade. That means a simple zero will change the slope by plus 20 decibels per decade beyond the corner frequency. A simple zero of the form 1 plus T1s will have a magnitude diagram as shown below. This is the magnitude diagram. Okay. So what is important is a simple zero will change the slope by plus 20 decibels per decade beyond the corner frequency omega is equal to 1 by T1. Because if you take modulus of this and then take 20 log, coefficient of log omega will be plus 20. Next is a multiple pole 1 over 1 plus T1s to the power n will have a corner frequency. CF is the short form for corner frequency is equal to 1 by T1. For omega greater than 1 by T1, correct, we get the high frequency asymptote. A straight line of slope is equal to minus 20 into n decibels per decade. Minus 20 into n decibels per decade. A multiple pole 1 over 1 plus T1s to the power n will have a corner frequency 1 by T1. It will not change. Will have a corner frequency. For omega greater than 1 by T1, here what is the slope? Minus 20. This is when n is equal to 1. When n is, let us say 2, instead of minus 20, the slope will be minus 40. That's what I am saying here. We'll have, for omega greater than 1 by T1, we get a high frequency asymptote. A straight line of slope is equal to minus 20 decibels per decade. Minus 20 into n decibels per decade. Next point, here only I am going to write a multiple, instead of this point you note down. Next point is, I wipe and write here, a multiple zero. Multiple zero means what? It is 1 over, instead of 1 over, it is 1 plus t1s to the power n. Will have a corner frequency 1 by t1. For omega greater than 1 by t1, we get a high frequency asymptote, a straight line of slope plus 20 into n decibels per decade. If n is equal to 2, instead of plus 20, it will be plus 40. In simple words, poles will change slopes in multiples of minus 20 beyond the corner frequency. Zeros will change slope in multiples of plus 20 for frequencies beyond the corner frequency. So this is the low frequency asymptote, this is the high frequency asymptote. Next I will teach you phase diagram. I have kept everything ready on the board to save the time. See, recall, angle of a plus jb whole to the power n is equal to n times angle of a plus jb. Angle of a plus jb is tan inverse of b by a. B is imaginary part, a is real part. This is in accordance with De Moivre's theorem, which you have studied in mathematics. Angle of 1 over a plus jb whole to the power n is equal to angle of a plus jb to the power minus n, which is minus n times angle of a plus jb, which is minus n into tan inverse of b by a. Now let us take the pole 1 over 1 plus j omega t1 whole to the power n, which is minus n times angle of 1 plus j omega t1, which is minus n into tan inverse of imaginary part by real part. Imaginary part is omega t1 and real part is 1. In fact, angle of this pole is denoted by phi of omega. So phi of omega is equal to minus n into tan inverse of omega into t1. If you put omega is equal to 0, tan inverse of 0 is 0. If you put omega equal to infinity, tan inverse of infinity is 90 degrees. So you get minus 90 into n. I have made the plot of phi of omega versus omega. This plot is known as phase diagram. So when n is 2, phi of infinity is minus 180 degrees. See, when n is 2, it is minus 180 degrees. When n is 1, it is minus 1 into 90 degrees minus 90 degrees. Omega is in log scale. Therefore, the minimum value of omega I have taken is 0.1. Even though I know what is phi of omega for omega equal to 0, in this the minimum value of omega is 0.1. Therefore, the angle is slightly less than 0. This is the phase plot for n is equal to 2. As n tends to infinity, the phase diagram goes to minus 180 degrees. This is the phase diagram for n equal to 1. As n tends to infinity, phi of omega approaches minus 90 degrees. This is for n is equal to minus 1. As omega tends to infinity, the phase diagram approaches plus 90 degrees. If you put n is equal to minus 1 here, you get plus 90 degrees. If you put n is equal to minus 2 here, you get plus 180 degrees. This is the phase diagram for 1 plus j omega t1 whole square. This is in fact a multiple 0. This is a simple 0. So as omega tends to infinity, phi of omega approaches 180 degrees. This is the phase diagram. Complex poles bar zeros. Let me take y of j omega is equal to omega n square divided by j omega whole square plus 2 zeta omega n into j omega plus omega n square. Let dividing numerator and denominator by omega n square gives y of j omega is equal to 1 divided by minus omega square by omega n square plus j times 2 zeta omega by omega n plus 1 is equal to 1 over minus u square plus j times 2 zeta into u plus 1, where u is equal to omega by omega n. This in turn implies what is magnitude of y of j omega? Nothing but modulus of 1 minus u square is real part, imaginary part is 2 times zeta into u, modulus of this. We'll take 20 log on both sides. This implies 20 log to base 10 magnitude of y of j omega is equal to minus 20 log to base 10 on modulus of 1 minus u square plus j times 2 zeta into u. If u is very much less than 1, 20 log to base 10 modulus of y of j omega is equal to u is less than 1 means neglect u square and u term with respect to 1. You get minus 20 log 1 to base 10 is equal to 0 dB. If u is very much greater than 1, 20 log to base 10 modulus of y of j omega is equal to minus 20 log to base 10 modulus of minus u square. I am neglecting 1 and j times 2 zeta u term. Modulus of minus u square is u square, therefore you get minus 40 log u to base 10. Minus 40 log u to base 10. I am going to sketch the magnitude diagram and phase diagram now. First, magnitude diagram. For sketching the phase diagram, we need to do some calculations. X-axis is u in log scale. Y-axis is 20 log to base 10 magnitude of y of j omega. This is u is, this dotted line is drawn at u is equal to 1. U is equal to 1 implies omega is equal to omega n. Okay. So first is you get a straight line of slope equal to, magnitude equal to 0 dB. To the left of this dotted line, u is very much less than 1. To the right of this dotted line, u is very much greater than 1. This is low frequency asymptote. Low frequency asymptote. Low frequency asymptote is a straight line of magnitude equal to 0 dB. For u greater than 1, you get the high frequency asymptote. Coefficient of log u is minus 40. Therefore, this is a line of slope minus 40 decibels per decade. And this is what? High frequency asymptote. So high frequency asymptote is a straight line of slope equal to minus 40 decibels per decade. Low frequency asymptote is a straight line of magnitude equal to 0 dB. Instead of a quadratic pole, if you have a quadratic 0, this diagram is drawn for 1 over 1 minus u square plus j times 2 zeta into u. Instead of this being a quadratic pole, if it is a quadratic 0, this will be, the corner frequency will not change. The slope will become plus 40 decibels per decade. And this equation, this straight line is for 1 minus u square plus j times 2 times zeta into u. A quadratic 0 will change the slope by plus 40 for u greater than 1. A quadratic pole will change the slope by minus 40 decibels per decade for u very much greater than 1. Here the corner frequency is omega n. Please note this. So what I have done is I have taken a quadratic pole given by minus u square plus j times 2 zeta into u plus 1, where u is omega by omega n, and I have calculated 20 log magnitude of y of j omega for u very much less than 1 and for u very much greater than 1, and I have made the plot. Low frequency asymptote is a straight line of magnitude equal to 0 dB, correct? High frequency asymptote is a straight line of slope equal to minus 40 decibels per decade for a quadratic pole. For a quadratic 0, the slope will be plus 40 for u very much greater than 1. Okay. Next I go for phase plot. So y of j omega phase diagram. Phase diagram. Y of j omega is equal to what? 1 over 1 minus u square plus j times 2 zeta into u. What is phi of omega? Phi of omega is minus tan inverse of imaginary part 2 zeta into u by real part 1 minus u square. This is for u less than, this is for u less than or equal to 1. Correct? 180 degrees, correct? Minus 180 degrees, minus 180 degrees plus modulus of tan inverse of 2 zeta into u by 1 minus u square. This is for u greater or equal to 1. You might be wondering how this expression I have written. I am going to explain now. Note, if you have a complex number a plus jb, if you have a complex number a plus jb, magnitude is root of a square plus b square, angle is tan inverse of b by a. If you have a complex number minus a plus jb, then magnitude is root of a square plus b square, angle is 180 degrees minus 180 degrees plus tan inverse of b by a. Minus 180 degrees plus, 180 degrees minus tan inverse of b by a. So since the complex number in the denominator, see if you have 1 over, please watch, minus a plus jb, the angle of 1 over minus a plus jb will be minus 180 degrees plus tan inverse of b by a. This is the third one. The angle of minus a, 1 over minus a plus jb is minus 180 degrees plus tan inverse of b by a. Take this. When u is less than or equal to 1, real part is positive. Therefore, it is of the form a plus jb. So you get this minus tan inverse of, minus sign because the complex number is in the denominator. If you have, what I am going to say is, if you have, say, if you have 1 over a plus jb, the angle of this is minus tan inverse of b by a. So this minus sign because complex number in denominator, tan inverse of imaginary part by real part. When u is very much less than 1, real part is positive. When u is very much greater than, when u is greater than or equal to 1, when u is less than or equal to 1, real part is positive. I apply this formula. When u is greater than or equal to 1, real part is negative. I apply this formula. Correct? I think the expression for phi of omega is clear. So for this expression, I applied this formula. For this expression, I applied this formula. I made things very clear. Now phase diagram I am going to plot. The phase diagram I am going to plot. This is omega, this is phi of omega, this is 0 degrees. This straight line is drawn at minus 180 degrees. This is the variation of phi of omega. This is the variation of phi of omega. This is for zeta. This is for zeta is equal to 1. When zeta is less than 1, this will be the variation. This is for zeta equal to 0.2. This is how phi of omega varies. This is how phi of omega varies. And this phi of omega curve is drawn using this expression. For a quadratic 0, instead of minus 180, it will be plus 180. That's all the difference. Okay? Next, I will go for finding phase margin and gain margin. Next, gain margin and phase margin. Right. Gain margin is defined as the factor by which the gain of a system could be increased so that a stable system becomes just unstable. Gain margin is defined as the factor by which the gain of a system could be increased so that a stable system becomes just unstable. Phase margin is defined as the additional phase lag that could be provided at the gain crossover frequency so that a stable system becomes just unstable. See, actually, this topic should be taught after I teach Nyquist diagram. Therefore, gain margin, phase margin is dealt in great detail in module number 5, where I have taught Nyquist diagram and stability. For the sake of definition, I have given it. Gain margin is defined as the factor by which the gain of a system could be increased so that a stable system becomes just unstable. Phase margin is defined as the additional phase lag that could be provided at the gain crossover frequency omega suffix g, so that a stable system becomes just unstable. For a closed loop control system to be stable, both Gm in decibels and Pm in degrees should be positive. Now I will show how they are calculated. X-axis is omega in log scale. Y-axis is magnitude of GH of j omega in decibels. Let us assume that this is the magnitude diagram. This is 0 dB axis. 0 dB axis means where the magnitude is 0. The magnitude diagram where it crosses 0 dB axis, that frequency is called gain crossover frequency omega g. Next I am going to draw the phase diagram. This is omega in log scale. Y-axis is phi of omega in degrees. Let us assume that this is the phase diagram. This frequency where phi of omega crosses minus 180 degree axis is called phase crossover frequency. Omega g is called gain crossover frequency. It is the frequency where it crosses 0 dB axis. Omega p is called phase crossover frequency. It is the frequency at which phi of omega is minus 180 degrees. Correct? From this axis we measure gain margin. From this axis we measure phase margin. Gain margin is negative above 0 dB axis. Gain margin is positive below 0 dB axis. Gain margin is positive above minus 180 degree axis, negative below minus 180 degree axis. Why it is so, you will understand after you read the detailed explanation given at the end of module 5, I think, or in somewhere in the middle of module 5. At omega g, drop a perpendicular onto the phase diagram. Measure this intercept. This intercept is positive. This intercept is measured from minus 180 degree axis, correct? And it is positive because it is above minus 180 degree axis. So phase margin is defined as the intercept measured from minus 180 degree axis at omega g. See, omega p is the intercept. Omega p is the intercept on phi of omega curve, at omega equal to omega g, and is measured from minus 180 degree axis. Measured from minus 180 degree axis. So what I have written, phi of omega pm is the intercept on phi of omega curve, is the intercept at omega equal to omega g, and is measured from minus 180 degree axis. This is the gain margin. Gain margin is positive below 0 dB axis. So gain margin is the intercept on the magnitude diagram, at omega equal to omega p, and is measured from 0 dB axis, So this is gain margin is negative above 0 dB axis, positive below 0 dB axis. Phase margin is positive above minus 180 degree axis, negative below minus 180 degree axis. So I have written here, gain margin is the intercept on the magnitude diagram. This is the intercept on the magnitude diagram at omega equal to omega p, and is measured from 0 dB axis. Since gm is positive and pm is positive, this refers to a stable system. I draw the magnitude and phase diagram of an unstable system. This is omega in log scale. This is y-axis is magnitude of gh of j omega in decibels. This is 0 dB axis. 0 dB axis is the axis from where you measure gain margin. This is omega in log scale. This is phi of omega in degrees. This is the magnitude diagram, and let us assume that this is the phase diagram. This is omega g. This is what? This is minus 180 degree axis, and this frequency is omega p. At omega g, we measure phase margin. This intercept measured at omega g is phase margin. It is below minus 180 degree axis. Therefore, phase margin is negative. Gain margin is the intercept on the magnitude diagram measured at omega p. Correct? This intercept is gain margin and it is negative here. So this represents an unstable system. The previous figure refers to a stable system. Correct?
So this is the magnitude diagram and phase diagram of an unstable system. System is unstable because gain margin in dB is negative, phase margin in degrees is negative. So this represents an unstable system. Thank you. More details of this you can read or study in module number 5. Brief, the syllabus is made in a very bad manner. First Nyquist diagram should have been taught, then this should have been taught. But I have to follow the verdict of VTU. But whatever best I can do for GM and PM I have done. In detail, you will study this in module number 5. Thank you.